Me and Dawson Sizemore are back here with a podcast. It's just me and Dawson today. Our comrades are missing this morning. We have, unfortunately, they couldn't make it. But anyway, coming up this weekend, this afternoon's the weigh-ins for UFC 162. Anderson the Spider Silva will be defending his middleweight crown against the very talented and upcoming Chris Weidman. Dawson, do you have any predictions? I know you've made some predictions on your channel. Can you care to share those with here?
I think Anderson's gonna be too good for him. That's all I'm gonna say. I think he can finish Chris Weidman, but I think Chris Weidman's got the tools to finish Anderson if he executes properly.
You know, he's had a wonderful, really good training camp. Weidman has. I watched the UFC countdown. I've watched the pre-fight, press conference. On paper, he does have the tools to beat Anderson Silva. I just don't know. It depends. If Anderson wins, I think it'll be a knockout. If Anderson wins this fight, I don't think it'll go 5 rounds. If Weidman wins it, I think it'll be by decision. That's just my honest opinion because and Chris Weidman has really good jiu-jitsu. But I just don't know if it's good enough to actually finish Anderson Silva on the ground. I think Anderson Silva's jiu-jitsu game is underrated.
Yeah, but he only has 3 submission victories.
That's true. I think that's basically due to he loves to stand. He likes to stand and find his range, and he's by far a striker.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely a striker, and one of them submission victories was very clutch in the time that he did it in, making someone tap out with less than a minute left and barely holding on to his title. My ad, he did it with broke ribs.
That's true. He said he wasn't 100%. I'm assuming you are talking about the fight with Chael Sonnen.
Yes, I am talking about the Chael Sonnen fight.
Do you think Weidman's going to use the same blueprint that Chael did? He says he's not Chael Sonnen, he's Chris Weidman, and I agree with that. But is he going to use the same method? Is he going to pretty much go after the same blueprint, put Anderson on his back?
He could possibly do that. I don't see him striking with Anderson.
I don't think so either.
If he knocked Anderson Silva out, it would surprise me. It won't happen. I'm going to guarantee that right now. He's not going to knock Anderson Silva out. But, yeah, I think if he beats Silva, it'd be by submission or probably by decision.
I agree. I think it'll be by decision if Chris Weidman wins. Oh, so if Chris Weidman wins, I guess the super fight between Jones and Silva, is that out the window?
Yeah,
I'm sure it will be. It certainly won't have the allure anymore.
Yeah, that would be out the window. If Weidman won, I would see Bisping or Belfort getting a title shot next. I would like to see Bisping and Weidman fight. I don't know.
I think that would be a good fight. I'd like to see Bisping and Weidman fight.
I'm a Bisping fan.
Starting out, I did not like Michael Bisping, but Michael Bisping's for real. He really is. He gets, he's suffered some setbacks, but he really takes it on the chin, and comes back strong. I really think he's paid his dues. I hope Michael Bisping gets a title shot somewhere down the road.
I would like to see Bisping fight Silva. I think people would underrate Bisping in that fight.
I would like to see that fight also. I'm not sure when it could happen, but I'd like to see that fight because, Bisping did suffer the loss to Vitor.
Out of any fight in the middleweight division, or out of any fighter in the middleweight division, I think Bisping has the best chance of beating Anderson Silva out of any other fighter in the middleweight division.
Well, I will say, Michael Bisping's for real. He really is. He's a class fighter. He's a world-class fighter. I think he's paid his dues. I would like to see Michael Bisping actually get that title shot, and I think he's deserved it. Unfortunately, he had that setback with Vitor Belfort. I actually thought he would take Vitor. I really did.
I did too. I made a prediction on my old YouTube channel when that fight happened that he would not beat Vitor Belfort out, but it never happened, obviously.
I thought that he would weather the storm. Vitor was going to come out strong and fade. And Michael Bisping is a cardio machine. His resting heart rates is like down in the 30s. He's really a well-conditioned athlete. I thought he would weather the storm with Vitor, and Vitor would start to fade. Then Michael Bisping would take advantage of that and start picking him apart. But unfortunately for Michael, that didn't happen. He didn't weather the storm. Vitor did come out really strong and got the TKO.
Yeah. Vitor, what did he do? And didn't he like kick him in the face? And
He really rocked him. It was a one-sided fight after that. It was certainly a done deal.
Well,
So anybody else at 162 you're looking forward to?
162?
Yeah, UFC
Oh,
162.
UFC 162.
Not the weight class 162. There's no such thing as I'm aware of. That'd be a catch weight.
This fight right here that we're looking at, Mark Munoz, and I know this guy, but I can't say his name. Tim
Bostic.
Yes.
Who you got in that fight?
The Filipino wrecking machine.
The Filipino wrecking machine. He looked really well. He said he's been doing all the right things, and he supposedly had a very good training camp. Tim Bostic, I believe, is ready to go, though. He's really, I don't know
He looks
who.
out of shape. He's just,
He didn't yesterday. I guess we'll know better. The weigh-ins is actually on Fuel TV this afternoon, and we'll certainly get to look at him, size him up a little better than that. The photo that actually is on the UFC website, I'm not sure. He's probably not at his fight weight, maybe coming in a little a little above there. Who else you looking for? How about Roger Gracie?
I'm not interested in that fight.
You think Tim Kennedy's got a chance against Roger Gracie?
I think he'll destroy Roger Gracie.
You think so? Tim Kennedy's for real. He's a true American hero, by the way, and I'm for Tim Kennedy. I certainly am. I'm in his corner. I hope he actually, nothing against Roger Gracie by no means, but I'm really pulling for Tim Kennedy in this fight. I think he's got the tools to win.
He possibly does. Have the tools to beat him. His former, what was it, Ranger? Army Ranger.
Special Forces.
Yeah. I've seen these UFC guys on YouTube go into Marine mixed martial arts, and obviously that isn't the Army. As some people may know, the Marines are a little bit more hardcore. But the MMA in the Marines is a lot tougher. Let's just say they beat the UFC fighters relentlessly.
Really? I wasn't aware of this. Where'd you watch this at?
YouTube.
So the Marines beat up UFC fighters
Bad.
in MMA. Well, that's pretty fantastic. There's several veterans that, Randy Couture, he was in the Army.
Yeah.
He's ex-military.
Yeah, we all know what happened when Brock Lesnar got in the ring with him.
Well, that's true.
Brock Lesnar destroyed him. I watched that fight.
I did too. Brock Lesnar is basically a bigger version of Randy Couture.
Brock Lesnar's the greatest heavyweight to ever step foot in a ring.
In the octagon?
In the octagon.
In the octagon.
Yes.
So Brock brought a lot of excitement to the heavyweight division. Unfortunately, I think Brock's sickness really set him back. The diverticulosis.
Oh yeah, he
weather.
He would have killed that big old Alistair Overeem if it wasn't for that. He would have beat him in 10 seconds.
Well, unfortunately, we'll never know that probably unless Brock makes a return. And I understand he's doing well in the WWE.
Yeah, signed another $10 million 2-year extension with them a couple months back.
By the way, I hear that you may be going to see him in a WWE live event very soon.
Yeah, I haven't been since 2008, so I'm kind of excited if I do go. Ticket sale starts on the 11th, so hopefully get some good seats. But I'd rather just go see CM Punk. Good seats or bad seats.
So that's who you're going to watch, CM Punk?
Yes.
You're going to hold a sign up and advertise the podcast?
Yeah, PSPC. What's that?
So, CM Punk, you're wanting to go see CM Punk. Is this a Raw filming or?
No, it's just kind of like a little house show kind of thing.
But it'd still be pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
Another option was it TNA that you thought about going to?
Yeah.
Was that in Louisville?
Yeah, and that was actually a live televised event.
Oh, so you actually thought about that one, huh? Since it was live.
Yeah, and front seats was just like $200. So I mean that's a lot of money, kind of, but still, yeah, that's a lot cheaper than front row tickets to a live WWE event, which is around $1,000 for 2 people.
Is that right? I didn't know. Wow, that's expensive.
It's like
It's expensive for me.
$700-800.
Wow. Who was going to be at the TNA live event?
Well, since it's live on TV, it'd be just like the storyline. Probably Hulk Hogan, Bully Ray and Devon, all of them.
That'd be pretty cool.
Hulk's daughter, Brooke, she's kind of storyline, y'all with Bully Ray about their marriage or whatever, which makes absolutely no sense because she's now engaged to an NFL player, so maybe they can bring the NFL player into the storyline somehow.
Maybe so. Just make it the plot thickens.
They just better hope they don't hurt that man, because if they hurt that NFL player, they'll get sued off the face of the earth.
He'll probably have to sign some kind of release form or something. I'm not sure that they'll do that. He'll probably try to protect him.
They brought back the Main Event Mafia into TNA, which is Sting, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe. That's what I've got right now. There may be more. I figured Rampage Jackson may be a member. But,
Rampage, and that's certainly a crossover. We talked about him on the podcast before, but it was in his MMA side of his career. He signed with Bellator. I'm not sure actually how much the professional wrestling folks actually get to see Rampage until he actually retires from MMA.
He hasn't been on since 2 or 3 weeks now. He hasn't been on, so
I think it's just. It looks like it's just going to be appearances from here or there.
It's kind of like Bork Laser.
So, well, any final predictions for UFC 162? We're coming up on the 12-minute mark. We'll probably stop this podcast here just in a moment. And any final predictions? Any big upsets?
No, I'm not seeing any. It's a pretty boring card.
So, even though the spiders on it, you still think it's boring?
Any card with the spiders on it sucks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you've got it there live from Dawson. He's not a big Anderson Silva fan, but you are picking Anderson to win.
Yes, Anderson will win.
And you got Mark Munoz.
Yes, Mark Munoz will win.
Those two. All righty. I hope you folks tune in, listen. Hope you all watch UFC 162. And please feel free to make us a response. We'll see if Dawson's right. And I happen to agree with Dawson. I think Anderson will win this fight. I think Chris Weidman's an excellent fighter, but I just, it's hard to put a game plan together for Anderson Silva. Nobody's actually done that no better than Chael Sonnen, and Chris Weidman's going to have to do that. I think Anderson wins, it's going to be by knockout. If Chris Weidman wins, it's going to be by decision after 5 rounds. So, folks, I hope you all listen, and I hope you all watch 162, and we'll sign off for now.